Ασκήσεις συνομιλίας. Ακούστε την ερώτηση. Απαντήστε και επαληθεύστε ακούγοντας τη σωστή απάντηση από τις εκφωνητές.
Lesson 1. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Is that a window over there?
Yes, it is.
Do you speak English?
I know a few words.
Are you English?
No, I am not.
Is this an English book?
Yes, it is.
Is there a nice picture in the book?
Yes, there is.
Do you learn English?
Yes, I do.
From where do you learn English?
I learn English from a book.
Is this a nice picture?
Yes, it is.
Is that a chair over there?
Yes, it is.
Is this a table?
Yes, it is.
Lesson 2.
What is the man doing?
The man is reading a book.
Where is the book?
The book is on a large round table.
What does he do every now and then?
He looks out of the window.
Who is in the room also?
A boy is in the room also.
Where is he sitting?
He is sitting on the floor.
What is he doing?
He is playing with a small cat.
Where is the book?
The book is under the table.
Where does the man look?
The man looks at the clock. Lesson 3. Have you got anything for me?
Yes, I've got something for you.
What is it?
It is a letter.
Who sent it?
Your father sent it.
What does he write in it?
In it, he explains that he has no time to come tonight.
Why has he no time to come?
He has no time to come because they have a lot of work in the office.
What does Miss Hawkins say?
She says, what a pity.
Lesson 4.
Do you know the city well?
Yes, I do.
Do you know your way around?
No, I don't know my way around too well yet.
Do you want an expensive hotel?
No, I want a good hotel, not too expensive.
Where is the hotel?
The hotel is opposite the bank.
What does the man hope for?
The man hopes that they have a room for him. Lesson 5. What time is it?
It is 10:15.
Why am I late?
I am late because there were many people in town today.
Will you buy a car?
No, I don't think so. Not within the next 6 months.
How do you go to work every day?
I use the underground and the buses.
How long does it take you?
It takes me about 45 minutes.
When it rains, how long does it take you?
When it rains, it takes me more than an hour.
What time do you finish work?
I finish work at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Lesson 6.
Where did you go yesterday?
Yesterday I went to the market.
Whom did you see before you went there?
Before I went there, I saw George.
What was George doing?
George was trying to stop a taxi.
Was George's mother feeling well?
No, George's mother was not feeling very well.
Has she been a healthy woman?
Yes, she has been a very healthy woman, but now she is quite ill.
Where does George live?
George lives at the other end of the town. Lesson 7. Is this tie all silk?
Yes, it is.
Is it an expensive tie?
Yes, it is an expensive tie.
Have you any woolen ties?
Yes, we have.
Do you want to look at some shirts too?
Yes, I do.
Are the shirts expensive?
No, they are rather inexpensive.
Does one have to iron the shirts?
No, one does not have to iron the shirts.
Lesson 8.
At what time did they arrive at the hotel?
They arrived at the hotel at 6 o'clock.
What did the man ask?
The man asked if they had a double room with a bath.
On which floor was the room they gave them?
The room they gave them was on the 4th floor.
Was the room well heated?
Yes, the room was well heated.
Do you serve breakfast?
Yes, we do.
At what time is breakfast served?
Breakfast is served from 7 o'clock to 9:30. Lesson 9. Is it pleasant to sit outdoors?
Yes, it is quite pleasant to sit outdoors.
What can one do?
One can sit outside and have a cup of coffee.
Do they serve dinner here?
Yes, they do.
What can one do when the weather is nice?
When the weather is nice, one can have dinner outdoors.
After lunch, what can we do?
After lunch, we can go for a walk.
Do you want some cold beer with your lunch?
No, thank you.
Lesson 10.
Does everybody work on Saturdays?
No, some people don't work on Saturdays.
Is Sunday a working day?
No, Sunday is a day of rest.
Are January and February cold months?
Yes, January and February are cold months.
Which are the hottest months of the year?
The hottest months of the year are July and August.
How is the weather in October and November?
In October and November, it is quite cool.
Is it colder in December than in January?
No, in December it is warmer than in January. Lesson 11. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
Which bus do I take to get to Piccadilly Circus?
You must take the number 59 from the bus stop, which is right around the corner.
What are you going there for?
I am supposed to meet a friend of mine.
When did her friend get married?
She got married a couple of weeks ago.
What are your plans for tonight?
We plan to have dinner at some place in Soho and then go to a theatre or a cinema.
Do you want to join us?
Yes, I think I do.
Lesson 12.
When are you meeting your brother?
I am meeting my brother at 1 o'clock on Thursday.
Will you go to the airport?
Yes, I will.
When did your brother leave?
He left on the 17th of December.
Was that the first time he had been away?
No, that was the third time.
Has his family got used to his departures?
Yes, everybody in his family has got used to his departures.
Who also travels a lot?
Her sister's husband also travels a lot. Lesson 13. What does he do as soon as he walks into his office?
As soon as he walks into his office, he greets the other employees, takes off his coat, hangs it up, and then sits at his desk.
At what time does his boss come?
His boss comes at about 9:30.
Where is the office of the general manager?
The office of the general manager is on the second floor.
Who participates in the conference which takes place every Monday?
All the senior staff participate in the conference.
What takes place every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday there are conferences taking place in all sections of the firm.
Lesson 14.
Are roads excellent in most parts of the civilized world?
Yes, they are.
Which is the most modern way of travelling?
The most modern way of travelling is flying.
Which way of travelling do most people choose?
Most people choose the cheapest way of travelling.
Which way of travelling do people who don't worry about money choose?
People who don't worry about money choose the fastest and the most comfortable way. Lesson 15. What did he want to tell Mary?
He wanted to tell Mary about the possibilities she had of getting a job in their office.
Was Mary interested?
No, she was not interested.
Why was Mary not interested?
Mary was not interested because she had already got a job as a secretary.
Was Mary's job interesting?
Yes, Mary's job was very interesting.
When will Mary's salary be increased?
Mary's salary will be increased in 6 months' time.
What did Mary's friend tell her about her job?
He told her that she should do her best to keep that job and improve her position.
Lesson 16.
Do you like my apartment?
Yes, I do.
Why do you like it?
I like it because it is very nice. It looks quite comfortable and it is full of sunshine.
Which floor is this?
This is the 7th floor.
Are there any taller buildings around?
No, there aren't any taller buildings around.
Which was the worst house he ever had?
The worst house he ever had was the one he shared with his brother.
Was that house as bad as he said?
No, it was not so bad as he said. Lesson 17. When do you plan to move out of your old house?
I plan to move out of my old house in a week or so.
Will you take all your furniture to your new house?
No, I will not take all my furniture to my new house.
What new things will you buy?
I will buy another bed, an electric stove with an oven, a space heater, a dining room set, and some chairs for the hall.
Are you also going to buy a water heater?
No, I'm not going to buy a water heater because there is one in the new house.
Is it a good one?
Yes, it is excellent.
Why is it a good water heater?
It is a good water heater because it produces a constant flow of hot water and it is adjustable.
Lesson 18.
What did Michael ask her to do?
Michael asked her to go to the concert with him.
Did she accept?
No, she did not.
Did Michael insist?
No, Michael did not insist.
What did Michael say?
Michael said that if she was to change her mind, she could ring his house.
Was Michael angry with her?
Yes, he was.
Did she ring Michael?
No, she did not. Lesson 19. Who called Mr. Baker?
Mary Sullivan did.
What did she want?
She wanted to give Mr. Baker an explanation about the night of the concert.
What did Mr. Baker answer?
He told her to forget it. He also said that the concert was not very good.
Was Mary really sorry that she turned down his invitation?
Yes, Mary was really very sorry.
Did Mr. Baker ask Mary to go out with him again?
Yes, he did.
Did she accept?
Yes, she did.
Lesson 20.
Where was the cargo ship sailing and when?
The cargo ship was sailing across the Atlantic Ocean during the war.
Where were the two monkeys?
The two monkeys were in one of the holds of the ship.
What was the monkey's idea?
That one should go and hide, and when it shouted bang, the other one would start looking for it.
What happened to the ship as the monkey was ready to shout bang?
As the monkey was ready to shout bang, a torpedo from an enemy submarine struck the ship, and there was a big bang.
What happened to the ship?
The ship was blown up and broke into pieces.
What did the other monkey do?
The other monkey swam and swam until it found a floating piece of wood, got on it, looked at the other monkey, and said, "I found you, but it was a rotten game." Lesson 21. How many people are there usually in a family?
Usually, a family consists of the father, the mother, and one or more children.
Are there sometimes more relatives living under the same roof?
Yes, sometimes there are.
What does sister-in-law mean?
Sister-in-law means the wife of one's brother.
What does brother-in-law mean?
Brother-in-law means the husband of one's sister.
What is one's child called if it is a boy?
One's child is called a son if it is a boy.
What are the children of one's parents, brothers or sisters called?
The children of one's parents, brothers or sisters are called cousins.
Lesson 22.
What was the weather like that night?
It was bitterly cold that night.
What did Mr. Jenkins want?
He wanted a whiskey and soda.
What did Molly tell him?
Molly told him that it was her birthday and that the first drink was on the house.
Where had Mr. Jenkins been all that time?
He had been out of town on business.
What did Mr. Jenkins ask Molly about Mr. Allen?
He asked her if Mr. Allen had been around.
What did Molly answer?
Molly answered that Mr. Allen came by quite often. Lesson 23. Where was the coffee shop?
The coffee shop was around the corner.
What did Michael tell Mary?
Michael told Mary to hurry up.
What was the weather like?
The weather was nasty.
What do scientists tend to believe?
Scientists tend to believe that an atomic explosion changes the atmospheric conditions.
What did Mary want to drink?
Mary wanted to drink something hot.
What did Michael get her?
Michael got her a cup of steaming hot chocolate.
Lesson 24.
Was Mary ready?
Yes, she had just got ready.
What did she take with her?
She took some tinned meat, a few sandwiches, a thermos full of coffee and another full of cold water, some fruit and fruit juice.
Had Mary brought anything warm to wear?
Yes, she had brought a jacket.
What was Mary wearing?
Mary was wearing slacks and a pullover.
How long did they stay at the edge of the lake?
They stayed at the edge of the lake all day.
What did he take with him?
He took his fishing gear with him. Lesson 25. What did the man buy?
The man bought a dog.
Why did he take the dog to a lake?
He took the dog to a lake where there were ducks to try him and see if he was good for duck hunting.
What did the dog do as soon as the duck fell into the lake?
The dog reached the fallen duck, took it between his teeth, and ran back to his master the same way.
Was the hunter surprised?
Yes, the hunter was surprised and amazed.
What did the hunter do next day?
Next day, the hunter took the dog back where he had brought him from.
What did the hunter say to the man in the shop?
The hunter said to the man in the shop, "Take this dog back. He is no good. He can't swim."
Lesson 26.
What should one know before going to England?
Before one goes to England, one should know about English money.
When was the decimal currency system introduced?
The decimal currency system was introduced in 1971.
Is there any difficulty with English money now?
No, there is no difficulty with English money now.
How many kinds of notes are there in England today?
In England today, there are notes of £50, £20, £10, £5 and £1.
How many pence has £1?
£1 has 100 pence.
What is the coin for 50 pence like?
The coin for 50 pence is octagonal. Lesson 27. What striking difference is there between England and the continent?
One striking difference between England and the continent is that vehicles keep on the left-hand side of the road.
Which other country besides England has left-hand side traffic?
The only other country in Europe with left-hand side traffic is Sweden.
Before you step off the pavement, which way should you look first?
Before you step off the pavement, you should look first to the right.
Before you cross a one-way street, where should you look?
Before you cross a one-way street, you should look in the direction which the traffic comes from.
Why is the English countryside green?
The English countryside is green because there is a lot of rain.
What is the characteristic of certain parts of England during the autumn?
Fog is the characteristic of certain parts of England during the autumn.
Lesson 28.
Which countries do we include when we say Britain?
When we say Britain, we include Northern Ireland, Scotland, England and Wales.
Is there one language for all these countries?
Yes, there is one language for all these countries.
What is the capital of Northern Ireland and what is the capital of Wales?
The capital of Northern Ireland is Belfast and the capital of Wales is Cardiff.
Do they use the continental metric system in Britain?
No, in Britain they don't use the continental metric system.
How do they measure distances in Britain?
They measure distances in miles, yards, feet and inches.
How can a foreigner find a piece of clothing exactly his size in London?
A foreigner can find a piece of clothing exactly his size by saying what his measurements are in centimetres. Lesson 29. Which is the third largest city in the world?
London is the third largest city in the world.
About how many people are there in London?
In London, there are about 8 million people.
What is the name of London's business area?
London's business area is called the City.
Which is the busiest part of London during the working hours of the day?
During the working hours of the day, the City is the busiest part of London.
Is there a dense bus service in London?
Yes, there is a dense bus service in London.
Why is the underground called the Tube?
The underground is called the Tube because of the shape of its tunnels.
Lesson 30.
Is London the biggest business centre in Europe?
London is one of the biggest business centres in Europe.
Is there a lot of entertainment in London?
Yes, there is a lot of entertainment in London.
What kind of cuisine can one find in restaurants?
One can find products of exotic cuisines such as Indian or Chinese, as well as conventional European food.
Why do tourists gather outside Buckingham Palace every morning?
Every morning, tourists gather outside Buckingham Palace to watch the spectacular changing of the guard.
What can one do in good weather?
In good weather, it is a pleasure to walk through the large parks of London or on the banks of the River Thames. Lesson 31. Where did the farmer live and with whom?
The farmer lived in a valley near a river with his son.
How old was the farmer's son?
The farmer's son was 12 years old.
Was the farmer's son a quiet boy?
No, the farmer's son was a naughty boy.
How long had it been raining in the valley?
It had been raining for 7 consecutive days in the valley.
Where did the farmer send his son?
The farmer sent his son to his brother.
What did the farmer receive from his brother a few days later?
A few days later, the farmer received a telegram from his brother.
Lesson 32.
Did Mary enjoy the party?
No, Mary did not enjoy the party.
How did Michael know the blonde's brother?
Michael knew the blonde's brother from the army.
Why did Michael dance with the blonde?
Michael danced with the blonde because he thought that Mary was not in the mood for dancing.
Was Mary in the mood for dancing?
Mary was not in the mood for dancing.
What plans did they make for the next day?
They decided that Michael would pick Mary up at the usual time, and then they would decide where to go. Lesson 33. Did the manager think that Michael did a good job?
Yes, the manager thought that Michael did a good job.
What did the manager tell Michael?
The manager told Michael that he was very satisfied with him.
What did the manager ask Michael to do?
The manager asked Michael to do some marketing on the project and submit his report to him as soon as he had finished it.
Did Mary know what marketing means?
No, Mary did not know what marketing means.
Did Michael explain to her what marketing means?
Yes, Michael explained to her what marketing means.
Did Mary think that Michael would succeed?
Yes, she did.
Lesson 34.
Was the lady's son a handsome boy?
No, the lady's son was an ugly boy.
Were there many people in the same compartment?
No, there was only one person, a man, in the same compartment.
Why was the lady irritated?
The lady was irritated because the man was looking constantly at the boy.
Why did the lady start crying?
The lady started crying because the man told her that he had never seen an uglier boy.
What did the man in the other compartment ask the lady?
The man in the other compartment asked the lady what was the matter and if she wanted a cup of tea.
What did the man bring the lady?
The man brought the lady a cup of tea and a banana. Lesson 35. At what time was Michael supposed to see Mary?
Michael was supposed to see Mary at 9:30.
What kept Michael up so late?
It was a reception that kept Michael up so late.
Why was the reception given?
The reception was given to celebrate the opening of their new branch office.
Had it been a tiring day for Michael?
Yes, it had been a tiring day for Michael.
Did Michael have to work the next day?
No, Michael did not have to work the next day.
Was Michael sorry he hadn't met Mary in time?
Yes, Michael was sorry he hadn't met Mary in time.
Lesson 36.
Whose was the violin in Michael's apartment?
The violin belonged to Michael's father.
Why did Michael keep his father's violin?
Michael kept his father's violin as a souvenir.
When did Michael's father die?
Michael's father died 4 years ago.
How old was Michael's mother when she had her first child?
She was 19 when she had her first child.
Was Michael's mother careful with her children?
Yes, Michael's mother was very careful with her children.
What did Michael's mother insist on?
She insisted on certain things, like knowing all about her children's friends. Lesson 37. Is Romeo and Juliet one of Shakespeare's best plays?
Yes, Romeo and Juliet is one of Shakespeare's best plays.
When did Michael's friend John see the film?
Michael's friend John saw the film last year.
When did the story take place?
The story took place in Italy many years ago.
Why did Mary's brother never take her to tragic plays?
Mary's brother never took her to tragic plays because she used to cry and people looked at them.
Whom did Mary feel sorry for?
Mary felt sorry for Juliet.
What did Michael tell Mary?
Michael told Mary to try not to cry.
Lesson 38.
What went wrong with the light?
All of a sudden, the lights went out, and the whole house was in darkness.
Did Mary have any candles handy?
No, Mary did not have any candles handy.
What did Mary do?
Mary lit a match, went to the fuse box, and examined the fuses one by one.
Were the fuses in order?
Yes, the fuses were in order.
What did Mary think of doing?
Mary thought of going to Mrs. Hopkins and asking her if she could borrow a candle from her.
Did the lights come on again?
Yes, they did. Lesson 39. Who is man's best friend?
The dog is man's best friend.
What is the dog's sixth sense?
The dog's sixth sense is its instinct.
Are well-trained dogs a great help to their masters?
Yes, well-trained dogs are a great help to their masters.
Why are well-trained dogs a great help to the blind?
Well-trained dogs are a great help to the blind because they lead them safely through the city.
Who is training dogs to cover the needs of the blind people?
Many welfare organizations are training dogs to cover the needs of the blind people.
Are police dogs useful, and why?
Police dogs are useful because many criminals have been located and arrested thanks to the abilities of these animals.
Lesson 40.
What was the Frenchman trying to do?
The Frenchman was trying to learn English.
Had the Frenchman any difficulty with the English language?
The Frenchman had a lot of difficulty with the pronunciation.
What was the dramatic decision that he made?
He decided to go to live in London for 2 months and speak only English during that time.
Did he make any progress during his stay in London?
He did.
Could he pronounce sentences with a London accent?
Yes, after the first month, he could pronounce simple sentences with a London accent. Lesson 41. Did Mary receive a letter from Michael?
No, Mary didn't receive a letter from Michael.
Where did Michael go?
Michael went to Geneva.
Where did Mary go after work?
After work, Mary went to the cinema.
Why did Mary envy Michael?
Mary envied Michael because of the wonderful opportunities he had in his job.
What did Mary buy for Michael?
Mary bought Michael a suitcase.
Why did Mary buy Michael a suitcase?
Mary bought Michael a suitcase because he would need it as he was going to travel a lot.
Lesson 42.
Was Michael having a bad time in Geneva?
No, Michael was not having a bad time.
How did Michael go to Geneva?
Michael went to Geneva by plane.
Did he have a bad flight?
No, he had an excellent flight.
What did Michael make up his mind to do?
Michael made up his mind that someday he would take Mary away on a jet plane and they would spend the most wonderful holiday of their lives.
Was he getting on well with his business?
Yes, he was getting on very well with his business.
Did Michael like the food in Switzerland?
Yes, he did. Lesson 43. Why was Mary careless at her work?
Mary was careless at her work because the thought that she would find a letter from Michael under her door became an obsession.
What was it that she had to rewrite?
She had to rewrite the monthly request for office supplies.
Who stared at her in amazement?
Alice, the girl who sat next to her, stared at her in amazement.
What did Alice think of Mary?
She thought that there was something seriously wrong with her.
Was Mary sad to hear that Michael was having a good time?
No, Mary was glad to hear that Michael was having a good time.
When was she going to wait for Michael?
She was going to wait for Michael on Thursday.
Lesson 44.
Why did the Englishman go to New York?
The Englishman went to New York to visit a friend of his.
What did the American do, hoping to impress his friend?
The American pointed out a lot of interesting sights, hoping to impress his friend.
What did the Englishman mention when he saw the New York Metropolitan Museum?
He mentioned the National Gallery of London.
Was the American irritated at his friend's attitude?
Yes, he was.
Which building did the Englishman admire?
The Englishman admired the Empire State Building.
Did the American know the name of the building?
No, he did not. Lesson 46. Is there a lot of concrete on the runways of London Airport?
On the runways of London Airport, there is enough concrete to cover a road from London to Edinburgh.
Are passengers served meals on long-distance flights?
Yes,
How many miles does it take a passenger to eat lunch?
it takes about 300 miles.
How many people are there working in London Airport?
There are about 28,000 people.